Hello. Welcome back to the Mompreneur Life podcast. And if you are new here, hey, welcome. Okay. And if you are not new here, hey, girl, hey. All right. So today, let's talk about a mid-year reset because sometimes our life isn't going the way we thought it would. Okay. In the beginning of the year, we out here making all these goals, making all these plans. Okay. And sometimes it is not going the way we thought it was going to go, or we just have not even checked in with our goals to see if we are even on track to reaching them, right? So I decided to come through with a mid-year reset because sometimes you just gotta just reset and try again. We don't have to wait until the beginning of the year to reset. We could do it in the middle of the year, we could do it in the beginning of the month, the middle of the week, or even the middle of the day. So let's do this mid-year reset because sometimes we don't even know where we are. So before I get into the reset, let's discuss a mom win. Of course, this mom win is not just from today. It is based off of, anything that has helped me get through. Because as a mom, sometimes we need the little wins to help us get through those struggles. My mom win is being able to batch record with no problems. As you all know, it is summer break and everyone is here at the house. And of course, for some reason, when I'm recording or doing anything productive, one of the kids have to ask me a question. Why they have to ask me a question, I don't know. Okay? But whatever. I'm able to batch record without any interruptions. So hey, I'm pretty proud of myself for that. And of course, when it comes to a mom win, we might also have a mom struggle. So here go mine. All right. And my mom struggle has been just being consistent with podcasting. So yes, I launched a podcast, right? But I feel like my show notes is not where I want it to be. Like, I just had major plans for the show notes. Yes, I put all the links in there, but I just felt like my show notes could be a little bit more hefty and just better. But I'm working on it, and it's okay. It's okay. So that was the mom struggle, all right? So let's get into this mid-year reset. So first of all, we need to break down the mid-year reset opposed to, just resetting all of our goals and just not even knowing where we are. So the first thing is we need to review our beginning year goals. Are we on track to even reach those goals? If we're on track to reach those, beginning of the year goals, let's not change anything. Let's just continue on the way we're going. If sometimes we're not on track and those goals got left in March or even February and we done forgot all about them, let's try this all over again. So the first thing, we're going to go through phases. Okay, I got, some phases here. Phase 1, change. Okay, what isn't working and what needs to change? If you realize, you set a goal, a financial goal to save a certain amount and you are not on track and you have not even saved a dime yet, you might need to change some things. Clearly, it's not working, all right? It's not working and it's okay, but you have to acknowledge it. And let's say, for instance, I'm not telling you to, change your goal because it's too hard. No, I'm telling you to change your goal because that might not really be a good goal for you. It is what it is. So also, when you're looking at, the goals you set, right? Some of them don't align with what has happened in your life in the last 6 months. So for me, in the beginning, my goal was mostly photography. And yeah, I still do have a couple clients that I still shoot, but that's not my main goal no more. That's not my main focus anymore. My main focus now is, podcasting and editing. That's like my main goal. So yes, for me, things has changed. So yes, I need to change. Okay, now how many clients do I need now since I am pursuing editing? Because when I had, the photography, my goal was, let's say, 3 clients a month, 3 repeated clients a month. Now that might be different because the pricing has changed. The pricing is different. So now let's move on to phase 2. So phase 1 was change. So now let's talk about habits, creating new habits. Because let's say, for instance, you don't forgot what habits you set in the beginning of the year. Let's reset those habits and start some new ones. So let's break those down into different sections. The first section is going to be spiritual. So everyone is not spiritual. It does not actually have to be spiritual per se. It could be meditating. It could be praying more. It could be, writing affirmations or coming into yourself as an individual or finding yourself as an individual, okay? So find out what habits you want to include when it comes to spiritual, how you want to become more spiritual in your life. Do you want to meditate more, or do you want to journal more, okay? Next is intellectual. So with me, I am always reading. I'm always trying to learn something new. I'm always watching, different videos, different YouTube videos. I'm always trying to learn. I feel like everyone should be that way. Even though I know everyone is not like that, you should always be trying to better yourself, opposed to just trying to stay stagnant. So many times we run into stagnant people and we can't figure out why things don't work out for them. They're not trying to grow, they're not trying to change. And when they see you trying to grow and elevate, they become a little distant or they start acting funny. So we don't even need those people in our lives. But for you as an individual, you always want to grow, you always want to change, you always want to elevate yourself opposed to staying stagnant. So what are you doing now that you will continue on throughout the year to grow or elevate? And if you feel like you're being stagnant, what are you now going to include to grow and change as an individual intellectually? What are you going to include? Are you going to read more? With me, I'm always sharing what I'm reading, just in case you don't know what you should read. Well, join a class. Like with me, I am on Skillshare. So in Skillshare, if I have anything come to mind and I want to look it up and I want to learn more about it, I run instantly to Skillshare. And I see who has created a course on it to help me elevate. So think of things like that. How can you grow intellectually? Next is financial. So first of all, when it comes to financial, do not be all over the place. Do not. So many times we're all over the place with financial, we become overwhelmed and we just kind of give it up. If your goal is just to budget the money that you currently have, cool. If the goal is to make more money, cool. Leave it that way. Leave it with whatever the focus is for that time. If it is to save more, leave it with saving more. Because obviously when it comes to saving more, you would then incorporate a budget of some sort. Do not be all over the place when it comes to financial, because then we try to do too much and nothing works out and we give up or we become overwhelmed with the process. So if the goal is to save more for a down payment on a house, come up with the goal and work the goal. But it's not going to be save for a down payment, invest, all of the things that we try to do when it comes to money. Your dollar is going to go but so far, especially during this time with inflation. I'm sorry, but right now my grocery budget has took my entire budget out of the water, and I'm over it. So lastly is going to be your physical health. I feel like everyone should incorporate something when it comes to physical health to their mid-year resets or even your beginning year goals. When it comes to physical health, you want to always keep your physical health in mind. Even if it's you going for a walk or you stretching. When I'm not able to work out, which is often, that is why I'm so heavy right now, and it's okay. I try to stretch. Even if it's for 3 minutes, I just, lay on the floor and just stretch. It's something. It's better than nothing. So you have to keep that in mind. What small things can you do when it comes to physical health? Even if it's you saying, hey, I'm just drink a smoothie once a day. My breakfast is going to be a smoothie. Something simple. I'm just saying. So you want to break down with phase 2 into those different sections, different tasks for each one. But what I think is best, what I like to do, is just one for each, because I become very overwhelmed. And when I become overwhelmed, I'm giving up and I just don't have time. That is just me. I don't know about you, but just put one thing for each one. It does not have to be anything extravagant. Spiritual could just be you journaling twice a week. Okay? Intellectual, 1 book a month. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, keep it as simple as possible. But on the same note, think of goals that you want to set for yourself as an individual. Because so many times we sit here and create all of these goals, and by the middle of the year, we done forgot the goals, or we are not even on track to reach these goals. So next, we're going to move on to phase 3. So this is going to be the last phase, and the last phase is writing out things to help you reach these goals. So we're going to work with one goal right now, and that's going to be financial. All right? So financial. Let's say, for instance, when it comes to financial, the goal for financial is to save, let's say, $100 a month. I'm keeping it as simple as possible for the sake of this recording. So let's say, for instance, the goal is $100 a month. So if the goal is $100 a month, what can you do to help you save this $100? So it's cutting back. So that's one task, cutting back on Target spending. That's one trip right there, as you all know, with Target. If it is you budgeting more or cutting out subscriptions, I'm just saying there are 3 tasks that can help you reach that one goal every month. You get what I'm saying? So think of that one goal and then different tasks that can help you reach the goal. It don't have to be anything major. Like I literally just said, cut out Target or cut back on Target and cut back on some of the subscriptions that we might have. Because as we all know, we have a truckload of subscriptions. And that reminds me, I need to cut a few out. That reminds me. But anyway, so phase 3 is actually creating action steps for phase 2. Your action steps, because it's all good to write out these goals, but if you don't have any actions, I'm sorry, you're not going to reach the goals. If you have not come up with a game plan, you're not going to reach these goals. Everything is all good and dandy when you're writing it out, but then when it's time for you to actually put the steps in, if you're not putting the steps in, you're not working at these goals, you're not going to reach them. It is what it is. So we have to write out these goals, and then we have to come up with action steps. Once you come up with these action steps, how are you going to incorporate it to actually reach it? What are you going to do monthly to reach these goals? What are you going to do every day to help you reach these goals? So if the goal is to cut back on spending to save your $100 a month, what are you going to cut out? What are you going to do? Are you going to get a side hustle? So it sounds good when we are creating these extreme goals, but then when the middle of the year comes and you're not even on track, or you haven't even looked at those goals, all that go out the window. So phase 3 is action. So phase 1 was change. Phase 2 was habits. Phase 3 is actions. Put in the actions to get going with the goals, to get these goals accomplished. So that is phase 3. All right. So as you all know, I like to end my episodes with what I'm currently reading, and I am reading the Viola Davis Finding Me book, and I am truly enjoying that book. So if you're looking for something to read to go into your intellectual habits, the Viola Davis Finding Me is really good, okay? And I'm going to leave you how I always leave you, and that is enjoy your week and live the life you dream, you mompreneur you. All right? See ya.